In 1977, the space probe Voyager 1 took the first photo of the Earth-Moon system from 1.6 million miles away. In 1979, it flew past Io, one of Jupiter's moons, and discovered volcanic activity on its surface. In 1980, it passed Saturn. By 2012, Voyager 1 had left our solar system and entered interstellar space. Meanwhile on Earth, a group of American soldiers carried out a mission in a dangerous war zone. Two enemies nearly ambushed them, but the soldiers reacted quickly and took them down. As bombs exploded in the distance, the team pushed forward, gunning down anyone too close. They climbed stairs to reach a balcony, where snipers took position. The rest of the team swept the building, killing every man in sight until it was cleared. Back on the street, they saw jets flying overhead while still firing at enemies. But when they turned a corner, they ran into a full squad already waiting. A fierce firefight broke out. Outnumbered, they tried to fight back but were forced to retreat. During the pullback, one soldier was shot and Rhodey carried him while the others kept shooting. Gunfire never stopped as they ran for cover, dropping more enemies along the way. Rhodey wanted to treat his friend's wound, but had to keep firing. When he finally checked, the man was already dead. Another squad appeared, cornering the team. They called for support on the radio, then the area went dark. A red light emerged through thick clouds, revealing a massive machine. It fired a beam that wiped out the enemy squad in a single shot, then turned white and released a surge of electricity. The lightning struck the soldiers, dragging them into the machine, where aliens restrained them for experiments. The soldiers saw flashes of their past and last battle before blacking out. Later, they awoke inside strange pods as the machine powered down. They coughed up resin from their lungs. Jax identified it as stasis fluid, though he didn't know why. Unsure where they were, they suspected Russians or Chinese, but the symbols on the machines weren't from Earth. Reyes found a plaque with their names, yet couldn't explain how he understood it. Their guns were still loaded, and their last memory was the firefight and the lightning. Kelly, their leader, told them to move before captors returned. At the end of the corridor, they found a circular door that wouldn't open. Working together, they forced it, finding another hallway and a second door bent off its track. Rhodey noticed a vent and sent Reyes inside. With a light in his mouth, Reyes crawled until he found another hatch and emerged beyond the door. He called the team over, and they all followed. This side showed burn marks and dents, as if someone had tried to break in. The place felt like a maze, and Nash guessed it was some kind of underwater prison. Strange noises echoed, pushing them forward. The next hall had blood smeared across the floor and a wall clamp, proof of a power failure, explaining why the machine shut down. The next room was covered in floor fog. Blood dripped onto Ria's face from above. He looked up and saw headless bodies hanging upside down. Kelly took Gibbs and Reyes into another room, where they found another mutilated body hanging above a strange table, and a handcuffed woman named Robbie. She awoke speaking a foreign language. They pulled a lever to free her, but a monstrous alien appeared, slashing Gibbs before hurling him across the room. In the previous chamber, Nash grabbed a strange weapon. The others rushed in, firing at the alien, but bullets barely dented its armor. It knocked down 3 men with a single blow. Kelly tried to shoot, but the alien disarmed him, grabbed his neck, studied him briefly, then tossed him aside. As it lunged at Jax, Nash tossed the strange weapon to Rhodey, who activated it and blasted the alien down. They thought it was dead until it roared again. Robbie finished it with precise fire until it truly fell. She said something they couldn't understand and left. Realizing Gibbs was gone, they followed. In the corridor, Kelly shocked her by speaking her language. Another alien appeared, and Kelly fired while ordering the team to run. This one carried a laser gun and shot Ravi, knocking him down. Soon, an entire squad of aliens stormed in, unleashing heavy fire. The soldiers grabbed Ravi and ran. A chase erupted, both sides firing non-stop. The team took cover in the next hall, where Robbie pulled a lever to close the door. Kelly jammed it with a knife and ordered Jax to go with Robbie to find an exit. The aliens hammered the door, and the soldiers knew it wouldn't last. Jax and Robbie found a shaft full of cables and climbed. Reyes urged the others to follow, staying behind to stall the aliens. When the door broke, Reyes shot the first one down, briefly closing it again. but the horde forced through, dragging him back before he could reach the shaft. Another alien peeked inside, and Rhodey blasted its head off. The team shoved aside beams to enter another room. Hearing that Reyes was dead, Nash panicked, screaming about meeting aliens, until Kelly calmed him. Kelly asked Rhodey how he knew to use the alien gun, but he had no memory. Jax treated Robbie's wound, though she insisted she was fine. Kelly translated her Russian, shocked he could understand it. Robbie called them sleepers, confirming the monsters were aliens and that they were on a spaceship. She then revealed she also spoke English. Robbie said they had to reach a safe place. Nash kept panicking until Rhodey threatened him to stay quiet. Robbie reminded everyone they had to keep moving. Meanwhile, Reyes's corpse was mutilated by the aliens, who used a device to scan his memories and learn everything the team knew. Using that knowledge, the scarred alien leader reached the bent door and activated a device on its gauntlet. In another corridor, Robbie explained that the scarred alien was the leader, supported by dozens of monsters. She also revealed that there were motion sensors along the walls and that the aliens' main goal was simply to feed. When they entered the next room, they found themselves on a bridge above a dark abyss filled with thousands of lights. Jax took a closer look and realized they weren't light bulbs, but capsules containing human bodies. Robbie called them sleepers and urged the group to keep moving. They rested in the next corridor, where Kelly replaced Robbie's bandages. They chatted about life before the war, and Kelly revealed he was a divorced father. Nash began to suspect the creatures weren't aliens at all but demons, and that this was the biblical rapture. Minutes later, the team came across a hangar full of containers. Robbie explained they held items the aliens had stolen from Earth. Rhodey found it strange the aliens hadn't attacked yet and theorized they were being herded into a trap. Kelly agreed and announced they would fight, ignoring Robbie's warning that it was a bad idea. Jax volunteered to be the decoy. He went into the hallway and began to sing. The aliens followed his voice, and Jax quickly opened fire to draw their attention. After a few bursts, he bolted, making the aliens chase him while firing their laser guns. Jax occasionally looked back to shoot, not causing much damage, but enough to keep the aliens enraged. He reached the hangar, taunting them to follow. When the creatures hit the dead end, Nash shot one in the head from his sniper perch. The rest of the team surrounded the enemies and opened fire, killing them one by one. When it was over, Robbie realized it had been too easy and feared a trap. Another wave of aliens entered the hangar. The team opened fire, but this time the aliens carried powerful shields. Even Nash couldn't hit them. Everyone started running, and Nash leapt from one container to another until he rejoined his team. They sprinted for the door, but Jax was shot in the back and killed instantly. A grief-stricken Nash screamed and shot the killer in the head. The four survivors escaped and rushed into a corridor, taking cover while Robbie found a lever to shut the door. Aliens soon came from the opposite side, forcing the team to flee through a hatch. They slid down a tunnel and landed in a pool filled with skeletons and rotting flesh. The stench was unbearable, making some vomit. As Nash panicked, Kelly silenced him. Their tense exchange was interrupted by a noise above. Ravi looked up and saw his mother, Anya, who threw down a rope. Ravi climbed up and embraced her in an emotional reunion. The soldiers followed, noticing Anya's uniform marked her as Russian. She led them through a corridor, carefully avoiding wall sensors. She guided them to a hatch, leading to a basement where she locked the door. The walls were covered in artwork. Kelly explained how her team had awakened, and Anya revealed this was a trophy room. They had only escaped because the machine had malfunctioned. She had lost track of time but believed it had been decades. The soldiers realized Ravi had been born aboard the ship. Anya revealed the larger truth. Voyager 1 had carried a map meant to invite friendly aliens. Instead, hostile ones found it and attacked Earth. They abducted the world's best military strategists, linking devices to human minds to harvest tactics, which meant the soldiers had been trapped for decades. All their nightmares had been alien wargames to study human combat, enabling Earth's destruction within weeks. The mind link worked both ways, which explained why the soldiers had also gained strange knowledge. Anya called this a gift. The ship was now carrying the spoils of war back to the alien homeworld. It had been Robbie's father who sabotaged the reactor, causing the machine's failure. Normally, Anya avoided sleepers, But her own team had died during sabotage, and she needed help. Her gift was hearing the aliens from afar. She knew they were repairing the transmitter. If they succeeded, reinforcements would come, so the group had to stop them. The soldiers rested. Nash admitted they would never return home. Kelly looked at a photo of her daughter, realizing the girl would now be about 40 if alive, reminding Rhodey of his own children. They decided to fight, planning with Anya. About 24 aliens remained, with the control center on the upper deck. The ventilation system could get them there, though the aliens would detect it. Luckily, Anya had explosives. The group crawled through vents. Rhodey and Kelly would distract the aliens while Nash and the women planted charges. Anya gave Kelly a stolen gauntlet to wield a shield. Splitting up, Nash's team reached the main chamber and watched the guards from a balcony. In the corridor, Kelly and Rhodey found a blood-smeared sensor, so they looked for another. An alien got a warning on its gauntlet. Kelly shot a sensor to lure him, summoning guards away and giving Nash's team their chance. While Nash stood guard, the women planted explosives. Kelly and Rhodey hid as guards approached, then struck from behind. Reinforcements soon arrived with heavy fire, forcing Kelly to use the shield so she and Rhodey could hold on. One alien even used a comrade as a living shield, pushing the humans to retreat. They hid in another corridor as the firefight raged. One alien detected something on his gauntlet, sending half his squad away. In the main chamber, Anya heard the aliens approaching. Kelly and Rhodey warned the others, though still pinned down. As Kelly crossed a doorway, Rhodey closed it behind her, telling her to save the others while he held the line. He fought fiercely, draining his laser rifle, then switching to regular weapons. An alien lifted him despite the shield. Rhodey seized the moment to drop 2 grenades, triggering a massive blast that killed him and the aliens. Half the remaining enemies reached the main chamber, and the humans fired back, killing many before shielded aliens pushed in. Anya told Robbie to flee and ordered Nash to protect him. A larger alien arrived and shot her down. Robbie screamed for his mother, and Nash dragged him away as Anya pulled a detonator, setting off explosives that destroyed the chamber, the machine, and nearby aliens. In the corridor, Nash saw more aliens and told Robbie to hide in a hatch. He screamed and ran to lure them, keeping her safe. At a dead end, he sang Jax's song, shot down as many as possible, and briefly considered detonating himself too. But he chose to fight on. When silence fell, Robbie emerged, only to find an alien nearby. Meanwhile, Kelly stumbled upon a room full of imprisoned humans, begging to be freed. As she turned, an alien struck her unconscious. She dreamed of her daughter living happily on Earth, only for the girl to be abducted by aliens as well. Kelly awoke to find herself in one of the cells. Robbie was in the next cell and had to tell her the others hadn't made it. An alien entered, strangled Kelly, and slammed her into the wall. They dragged her through the corridor and strapped her upside down to a strange table. One alien drew a knife and prepared to stab her. At that moment, he noticed Nash hiding inside the table. With a single shot to the head, Nash killed the creature. Together, the two continued down the corridor, killing any alien that came too close. They reached the cells and freed the prisoners. More monsters arrived, so Nash unleashed his laser rifle, mowing down enemy after enemy. Once the captives were out, the soldiers sealed the door and escaped with Ravi. But the aliens soon followed, forcing the trio to hide behind a wall and return fire. The humans' ammunition began running low, so Nash tossed a belt of grenades while Kelly shut the door to contain the blast. Nash leaned against another door to celebrate their narrow victory, but was suddenly stabbed with a knife. The alien leader entered the room, and Kelly urged Robbie to run before drawing the monster's attention to herself. She grabbed a knife too and fought back, though the alien repeatedly knocked her down with brutal blows. It hurled her into the ceiling, then threw its weapon at her, which she narrowly dodged. The alien reactivated its shield to slam her again. After several hits, it retrieved its blade and charged. Kelly waited until the beast crossed the doorway, then slammed it shut, crushing its body. Moments later, she reunited with Robbie, who was too terrified to move. Kelly led the way, and Robbie followed, until they realized they were standing on Earth, which had now become a barren wasteland, and with that the story ends here. This story shows that humanity's greatest weakness is not just alien enemies, but our own violence and divisions, which make us vulnerable to destruction. Yet, it also reminds us that sacrifice, unity, and courage are the only paths to survival and hope.